All right, so this is Illustrator. Okay, when you open up Illustrator, you go down here to the window button and you're going to click on Adobe Illustrator. Yours hopefully says 2025. Okay, but if not, you get the most recent one. So the most recent one for me is 24. Okay, once it's open, okay, if we're working on files that are already pre-made, like for this assignment, then you just drag and drop them in. So I download them from Google Classroom, and then I go here. So the first one I'm going to do is creating, let's see, drawing shapes. Just drag and drop it over. Give it a minute. Let it load. Okay. Now it's loading. Okay. To move around, if you're using a mouse and keyboard, it's hold space bar, and you can drag and move around. If you're using the trackpad, then just move around with two fingers on the trackpad, and it'll move for you. Okay. Um, Here's a little rundown of what you're looking at. Okay. For you guys, when you first open, it'll probably look like this. Okay. This is an Essentials workspace. We don't ever want to work in this. The reason why is it's a lot harder to find the tools that we need. So every single time you open up Illustrator, you're going to go over here to the Switch Workspace button. Okay, it's right next to the Minimize button. And you're going to click on Essentials Classic. That'll give you the correct workspace that you need. It'll show you everything that you need. And if anything ever gets messed up, you can go back up here to Switch Workspace and then just hit reset, and then it'll reset everything to look like this. Okay. Your layers panel is very, very similar to Photoshop, is right here. And everything is movable. So, like me personally, I want my layers panel always accessible. So when I open it, I hold layers and then I click and I drag it off and I just make it bigger just so that I have it. And then I can move and have my layers panel with me. Okay. All right. So creating shapes. For this assignment, you need the shape builder tool, which is this tool right here. Okay, the rectangle tool. If I hold down, it's the same as Photoshop. All these little tools have down arrows next to them, or arrows on the corner of the box of the tool. If you hold on it, it opens up more tools, right? All of them do that. If I hold, it's more, hold, more tools. Okay, so for the shape or the rectangle tool, if I hold it, it gives me other shapes. Okay, so for this one, for this assignment, you're just following along with the outline. So you're recreating this rectangle with cornered, with curves on the corners. Excuse me. You're making a triangle, and then you're making this little shape down here. You're remaking that. Okay, so the first one, rectangle, click it, start in the corner, hold, drag, and I have my rectangle. I can't just click it right away because then every time I click and go, it just makes more of the same thing, right? So Control Z goes back. Great. Also, you'll notice that there is a black outline. We don't want that. So if you go over here to the right hand panel, it's also up here across the top where the stroke is. You'll click it and then turn the stroke off. Okay. And I move around. All right, so now there's my shape. I need to go back to my selection tool is how I move. Okay, selection tool, move tool. The shortcut is V. So if I hit V, now I can move it around. Okay. What I want to do is curve these edges. So you see these four little circles on the inside. Okay, these handles, if you hold any one of them and drag it in, it curves and it just keeps curving. Okay, so I'm here, curve, I'm done with that shape. Triangle, I'm gonna go to the polygon tool. Okay, I'm gonna drag out before I let go of the mouse. Okay, before I let go of the mouse, I'm going to hold the shift button. What that does is it straightens it out, and then I can let go, okay? And then you'll see this little tiny diamond right here, and if I hover over it, you get a plus and a minus. What that does is it controls how many sides are on this shape. So V goes back to my move tool or selection tool, and if I hold this and I drag it down, it adds more sides. If I drag it up, it takes sides away, and now I have my triangle. Then I can fix my triangle there. Okay. Down here, next thing, I need a circle. Well, let's start with the rectangles. We know how to do rectangles, so let's hold this, go back to the rectangle tool, and we're going rectangle, rectangle, back to my, not my ellipse, my polygon, drag it out, hold shift before I let go. V goes back to my move tool, which is this. Oops. And then I just need to shrink it. Okay. And then now the next one is a circle. So my ellipse tool is my circle. If you drag out a circle, it's not a perfect circle. It's going in either direction. You hold shift when you drag, and it keeps its shape. So that's a perfect circle no matter what. So now I can just let go V again, or my selection tool, and then I can hold shift again because I want to make it smaller, but I don't want to mess up the shape. And there. Okay. That's the gist of it. The last part is you're remaking the robot. Okay. So if I go through this pretty quickly, I can start from the bottom and work my way up. I can go here, rectangle, and zoom in, control, scroll on a mouse, or control plus, control minus. If you're on the keyboard, it just makes it easier. So if I zoom in, rectangle here, and then I can curve my edges. Same thing, I can curve my edges. And actually, I'll show you guys a shortcut. If you make one side, if you want to make a copy, click it, because it's the same thing here and here. If I go here and I hold Alt and I drag off, it creates it again. Okay, so that's there. Right leg, left leg, it's the same. So if I click off and I drag over, remember I'm using my selection tool. This is like my main tool to like move things and grab things, okay? So if I hover over all three of them, hold Alt and drag off, it creates a new one again, okay? Next, so you can repeat that for like the arms and sides that are the same, okay? Next, what I'm going to do is, let me show you this part. So it looks like two circles. Well, it is kind of two circles. What it is just two circles, and one of them is the same color as the background. So if I do one of these arms and I go rectangle, okay, and then I go ellipse, shift so that it's a perfect circle, V so that I can move it, okay, and then I make one more circle. It's a little bit smaller, okay. To change the color, you have this tool right here, okay? It's called the eyedropper tool. If I click this eyedropper tool, the shortcut is I, anything that I click on, it'll copy that color. So I want it to be the same color as the background. So if I click the background, it changes the color. V goes back to my move tool. There. Same thing on the bottom. Ellipse, make sure I hold. I want it to be white, so if I go back to I for my eyedropper and click on a white, and then back to V for here, and then I can just copy this. So Alt, drop down, and it's sitting behind. This is a good thing. So if it's sitting behind and I want to bring it to the front, it's Control, Shift, left bracket, right bracket, brings it to the front. The other way you can do it is if you right click, you can go arrange, and then you go bring to front, bring forward, send back, okay, depending on where you want to move it. All right, right arm, left arm, they're the same. I'm on my selection tool. I can highlight this entire arm. I can hold Alt and then drag off and copy to the other side, okay? And then you're just gonna repeat that process until you're done with the little robot, and then you're finished, okay? The way you save this, okay? If you are done, if you're not done, it's File, Save As, Save on Computer, and then make sure that it says Illustrator file here when you save it, and then just name it Drawing Shapes Not Finished. And then you can save it, okay? Make sure you know where it's saving. So for me, it's saving in my downloads folder, so when I save it, it'll pop up in my downloads, okay? If you're done, File, Export, Export As, PNG, name it, so Drawing Shapes Done, use Artboard, check it, and then hit Export. And just make sure that everything's okay. So you can leave it at transparent, that's fine. You can change this to white too, it doesn't really matter. Transparent, make sure that the resolution is high, and then hit OK for save, okay? And then you're done.